This week is all about magical outcomes. Not necessarily experiencing magical outcomes, but our wishes for them. It's a shift, a transition in moving from magical thinking into possibility thinking. So this week is inviting a big change in the way we think about our life and we think about what's possible. My name is Joy Kingsborough, and I am your Egyptian numerologist, excited to dive into this week's forecast as we look ahead at the energies for November 14 until the 20th. So we're going to be looking at the energies that are influencing us day by day for this week and looking at how we can leverage those. So what's the insight? What's the gift that's coming through these energies? So let's go ahead and dive in. As we approach this week, we begin with our Monday energy. And our Monday energy is coming to us from the stream of consciousness that is the collective amplification and shift in wisdom. It's the collective knowledge, how we're expressing. We're all being inspired to amp up the game, to speak more clearly, to dive into our experience together in a more meaningful way, to express our ideas, to come to new ideas together. And so as we move through the rest of this year, as we enter into this club energy, we're going to experience a little bit of mental energy this month and again in December. And it's going to be inspiring our thinking to go to the next highest level so that we can experience something better together in 2023. But really, experiencing something better together begins with us being willing to experience something better right here, better in our own lives, in our own stories. So this week is really going to challenge us to, yes, I'm influenced by what's happening out here. Yes, I would love to have things be better in my body, in my environment, in my country, in my city, in my government, and my community, all of those things. I want those things to be better. And yet, the only place I feel that better is inside of me. So Monday begins with this 6 of Clubs energy. The wisdom of that knowledge, the wisdom of information, the wisdom that tells us exactly what is. The 6 is all about coming face to face with what has been created, coming face to face with what we've been thinking, what our harmonized thoughts are. And by harmonized thoughts, I mean if you have negative thoughts and positive thoughts, they all sort of balance out and they become a harmonized vibration. So all of the frequencies of one thought, frequencies of another, they come together, they create an equilibrium, and then on the 6 of Clubs day, we begin to see exactly the nature of our thoughts. Now, some of the things that can be inspired on this Energy Monday specifically is the insecurity as we witness our thoughts and actions. We might see things come into the world. We might get feedback in the form of conversation, of people commenting on our posts, of people calling us, emailing us, messaging us, having conversations with us, giving us feedback about our vibration. That feedback can cause a couple of different triggers. So the trigger might be, I love what is, I love this feedback, I can see that I'm doing well, I want to keep doing well. Or I love this feedback, I want to, keep getting this feedback, and maybe I am too dependent on that feedback, right? So then the other side of this is, I'm getting the feedback, I don't like the feedback, I feel like I haven't done enough. I haven't achieved enough. Maybe I've been too lazy. Maybe I haven't done the things that I could do. Maybe I'm just winging it and it could be better. There could be a lot of self-judgments that arise on Monday. So again, this week's energy is all about magical thinking. It's all about exposing the magical thinking. Now, magical, not in the way that I would normally use the term magical. There is so much magic in this world. But sometimes when we get caught up in magical thinking, we want something to magically happen so that we don't have to make the changes or do the work. And so we hope for magical results on Monday. We hope for these magical results, but what we might find is we land into, I wish I would have. So it's me really focused on, I wish I would have. And it may be, I wish they would have. I wish my family would have. I wish the people around me would have. I wish my environment looked different. I wish my house was different. All of those energies. So Monday really starts off with a bang of really predicting the energy and what wants to be cleared. If you can look at it through those eyes, you'll see that Monday is saying, how do you want to experience the next part of your journey? Do you want more of this thinking, or do you want to adjust it? Do you want to interrupt it? Do you want to shift it? If you have that magical thinking of, I wish that somebody else would do something, or I wish I would have done something, try shifting that language into, today I decide to really step into my own power. Today I decide to take actions on my dreams. Today I decide to love my life exactly how it is, and I'm willing to take steps to make it even better. And those steps are changing my thinking. So number one, Monday, all about changing our thinking. So be willing to adjust, be willing to shift that thinking. You're creating a foundation for the rest of this week. So Monday, I would say, is pretty important to the navigation of the rest of this stream of consciousness that we call the clubs. Now, Tuesday, depending on how you moved through Monday, Tuesday will be the next energetic cycle you move through, which means you're going to take your thinking from Monday and it's going to influence how you experience the energy of Tuesday. So the universe is dropping in this energy of time to begin something new. Can you feel something new? Can you feel a new choice for you? Can you feel that you're taking your choices to a new level? Maybe last week you were in this big, expansive dream state, very indicative of this time we find ourselves in, influenced by Neptune in these conscious patterns, is dreaming big. But now maybe in that dreaming big, as you're starting to recognize your self-responsibility in it, you might decide to choose what's for your highest good. That's really the goal here. Now, if you allowed yourself to really take to heart the energy of Monday, and you allowed yourself to think really positive thoughts about life, to fall in love with your life, to be part of your life story, and to really be engaged in taking responsibility. If I'm not going to wish for results, I'm going to be present for those results and I'm going to choose them. Today is all about choosing from that highest state. But if for some reason you succumb to the energies of Monday and you found yourself in a doubting frequency, worried about it, caught in that wishful thinking, if only something magical would occur, if only they would, if only she would, if only he would, right? If only that were to occur, then you might find yourself on Tuesday feeling the overwhelm of not being able to do what you want. So you might be feeling like you're running around trying to figure out how to please everyone else or to get those results in the outside world, or you might be trying to figure out how to align with those thoughts, align with those people, align with those energies that could possibly, serve you. So you might be finding yourself clinging to people who might be able to give you a breakthrough, might be able to help you. Maybe if only you were connected to them, your life would change, right? So you might be looking for rescue on Tuesday. And if you're looking for rescue, you can interrupt that and realize, I'm the one that's going to make the changes. And so what will I commit to today? What change will I commit to making that will bring my life to the next highest experience? Because Tuesday's all about the Five of Clubs. We're in that stream of consciousness, of thought, of wisdom, of information, of expression. But the Five says, choose. There's no greater power for the Five than to choose. There's no greater power for the Five than to say, I actually have access to all of the resources, all of the people, all of the experiences that I need. And the only way I'll be able to leverage anything outside of me, is by first choosing and knowing that I can bring forth that change, and anyone else in my life story is simply adding to it or helping to make it easy. But I am the power. I am the force. And it makes me think about, in the Emerald Tablets, they talk about the greatest force for change is the force that moves through you. It's the unseen force. There is this energy that's in you. And Jesus said the same thing. The energy that's in you have the power. What I can do, so can you. Right? This energy in me is also in you. That's where the power is. The power doesn't lie in someone outside of you seeing you or giving you an opportunity, any of those things. All of that stuff is a mirror of the choices you make. So if you choose to be a victim, then you might find someone who comes in and wants to rescue you, but ultimately you're going to find yourself creating the next story of victimization. If you make this decision to be empowered and to know that you have the power to choose the story you want, I choose to be a success in this aspect of my life. I choose to feel that, to own that, to take those steps. And I also welcome the support of the outside world to witness me, to support me, to help me, but not rescue me. So if you find yourself in rescue mode Tuesday, interrupt it. I don't need rescue. The power moves through me. I choose the story I'm walking into next. This is really important. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in an overworking overwhelm. You're going to start to really trigger your nervous system. And I want to really advise this week is a week that can really cause your nervous system to go way out of whack. You might feel haywire. You might feel massive anxiety if you're not paying attention and interrupting your thinking. So this is a week to pay attention so you don't find yourself subject to not feeling well, feeling exhausted, maybe, catching a cold, so to speak. Those kinds of things that happen when we are in the overwhelm and we need a break from our own thinking, and so then we manifest and create a break from our own thinking. You don't need a break from your own thinking. You need only direct your thinking in a way that is incredibly powerful. So let's move to Wednesday. Wednesday, we are now in still the stream of consciousness all week long, that stream of wisdom that is the knowledge, that is thinking, the power of the mind and the throat for expression, the power of sharing our truth. But here we are with the 4 saying, I'm here to really carry your commitment forward. I hear the commitment, the choice you made on Tuesday. If you didn't make a choice, go back and listen to Tuesday. Make a choice now. And in that choice, now Wednesday, we devote. I am devoted. I say yes again. I am all in with that. Universe, you have my commitment. God, divine, I am available for the fulfilling of that choice. I am available. So Wednesday is the availability to be used to fulfill my dream. Because when I fulfill my dream, I also impact the greater whole. I impact the community. I begin to impact the greater collective of humanity. That greater consciousness we talked about at the beginning of the week. You have the ability to impact massive change. But really important right now, do you know what you want? Do you believe that you can activate it? Have you chosen to activate it? And are you willing now to devote yourself to it, to commit to it? Because when you do, you'll feel something happen in your body. And this is really important, because if you don't feel your commitment in your heart today, you don't have enough energy behind it to create the ripples of impact to make the bigger shifts in your physical world that you want. So you want to activate what's happening deep inside of you. You want your commitment to be so strong that you actually start to feel it in your body. You might feel it in your heart, might feel it moving through the shoulders, through your back, through your whole body. You want to feel this. You want to activate the energetic frequency that is, I now have more thoughts that believe I can succeed than I have thoughts that don't. So by following this energy this week, you really land yourself into a place where your body is now really supporting the conscious choices you're making. Your body is now working as a vessel of energetic magnetism. It's moving energy out and calling it back in. It's now in full support of your dream, of your vision, of what you've committed to. So think about, do I really know what I'm committing to? Am I willing to show up for it? Am I willing to let that inspiration guide me into actions? Because the rest of this week is all about taking action, not being stuck or stopped by the anxiety in the body, the anxiety of the mind, of the body state, to not be so caught up in those thoughts and emotions that cause me to procrastinate or not believe I'm good enough. This is the moment where I have so much energy moving through my body that instead of anxiety, I have excitement, I have belief, I have faith, I have love. And with all of these, I know that my dream belongs in the world. And with all of these, I'm willing to experience what it is to be a creator, the most divine state you can feel. The closest you can ever be to the Creator is to create. So the rest of this week is about creation. And are you ready? So today, devotion. As we move into Thursday, here's where the rubber meets the road. Here's where everything from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is now moving. It's now in action. It's gaining momentum. It's becoming creation. This is the Three of Clubs. The Three of Clubs is my mind is now spinning. My mind is ready to go. My mind is ready to fulfill a higher state of wisdom. My mind is now spinning and ready to experience a higher, amplified state of my life. I'm ready to experience more. My mind is with me, and I'm ready to experience the next ideal outcomes. I'm ready to experience the wish. Remember in the beginning of the week, I said this is a week of magical thinking that really wants to move into possibility. So here by Thursday, we're in the place of now we're seeing what's possible. What is my mind spinning about? My mind is spinning about achieving what? Am I trying to overcome my anxiety and my feelings of not being enough? Or am I transmuting all of that energy into what's possible? If I focus this energy today, what's possible? The stream of consciousness of the mind, directing the mind to create. What will I create? Will I create what I think I should, what I think will please others so that they will help me? Or am I here to create something that impacts my life and the life of others around me? Am I here to really speak my truth? Because the rest of this week is all about speaking my truth. So let's talk about Friday's energy. Friday's energy, I think, is the one energy that we've been moving towards all week. It's a big energy. It's a big one because it is one of the transition energies from the mind moving down into the heart. And not everyone is ready to do that. Not everyone's comfortable being in the body or being in the heart. Being in the body to them means being in the mind. And so for a lot of people, being in the mind is an uncomfortable but also a comfortable place, right? The thinking is going, the spinning is happening. Whatever you're thinking feels very real. But moving down into the body further can be a little bit scary. And what it inspires is fear. The fear that it's not okay to speak your truth. The fear that if you don't speak your truth, something will happen. The fear if you do speak your truth, people will leave. People won't like you. They won't support you. They won't be a part of your life anymore. So the Two of Clubs is a pretty significant shifter in our story. The Two of Clubs says, I'm here to help you see yourself more, but I'm here to help you see what you think about yourself, who you think you are, and if you're identifying with ego thoughts or if you're identifying with your true self. If you're identifying with fear, you're identifying with the ego, because only the ego is afraid. Only the ego is trying to get something from the world. Your heart, your higher self, knows that you have access to limitless experiences, limitless resources, that you have all that you need. So today's energy, Two of Clubs, says, what do you believe about yourself? Number one. And this belief about yourself, is it based in ego? Is it based in heart? And if you were to base that energy in your heart, what would you choose to believe about yourself today that would be more important, more powerful than anything you've ever been afraid of? So this is a really powerful way to close out our week. I invite you Friday to really contemplate what you can do to expand beyond your fears and land deeply into a loving thought, a loving belief about you. As we enter into the weekend, this is when the energy is probably the most heightened in your body, when you're feeling it the most, when you're feeling this transition. So Saturday, we enter into that transit that we've been moving towards all week. We have been making peace with the parts of us that want rescue, the parts of us that are too afraid to believe in ourselves, the parts of us that are willing to now really believe in ourselves. And we find ourselves at the end of the clubs for November. This is our Ace of Clubs energy. We're feeling the stream of wisdom that is the consciousness of thought itself, of wisdom, of communication, of expression. And what are you expressing? The Ace. So the Ace is the doorway between worlds. The Ace is the reflection of you, how you perceive yourself in the mind as you get ready to transition into more of a body experience, into more of a felt experience, into a place of celebration and expansion of your overall beingness, right? There's really no simpler way to say that. Who you are being is what you'll be feeling as you finish this week and move into the next. And Saturday is this transition that allows you to really see who you've become, that you are not the same person you were last week. You're not thinking the same things. You're not doing the same things. You might want something similar, but you want it in a new way. And the invitation here is to land into more possibility than you had before. So as you've transitioned out of magical thinking, somehow magically my life is going to be fixed by X, Y, or Z happening for me, somebody coming in and rescuing, a big bag of money coming in, or whatever the thing is that you imagine will fix your conditions or you imagined a week ago. Now is the moment to realize that possibility is what's going to take you further. So the invitation today is to really land into more possibility than hopefulness. Now, I say that with a bit of a caveat because hope is beautiful. Having hope is a wonderful thing. But hope and knowingness are different. Knowing in possibility, believing in possibility. You can have hope that transcends you. I think when we look at the energy this week, Thursday is really our energy of hope. I think things are changing. But as we land into Saturday, the consciousness of the collective is really saying, what do you actually believe is true? What do you know for certain about you? And are you open to surrendering to what could be? Because again, Ace of Clubs is the doorway, and it's the doorway from thought, thinking, mind, into the energy of heart, of feeling, of experiencing, of magic being fulfilled. And so to fulfill magic, you have to know that you're the one that will receive magical conditions, not because they'll rescue you, but because you believed they could be possible. You didn't need them. You were willing to take the steps for you. So Ace of Clubs asks you to see yourself and then imagine, what new ideas could I welcome in? I love the practice of a possibilities list. And I think the Ace of Clubs energy is the perfect time to imagine possibilities. Make a list of 5, 10, 20, 50. If you really want to activate possibility, make a list of 100 things that could happen. or might not happen, but are possible, right? They might not happen to you, but they could be possible. Make a list of these things that could be possible in the fulfillment of your dreams, of the thing you thought needed to be a rescue for you. And go, these magical possible things could occur. And I'm going to keep moving forward and letting life surprise me. Let the universe surprise me. Not because it'll rescue me, but because it could be fun. What if? What if that happened? Wouldn't it be fun? So Ace of Clubs loves new ideas, new potentials. It likes new information to work with. And so new information for you might be new expanded ideas about what's possible. As we move into the energy that closes us off for Sunday, now we're in a whole new territory. So this is what I was talking about feeling this transition this weekend. So yesterday was I'm getting my thoughts aligned, belief and possibility. Now we come into Sunday, and Sunday says, it's up to me, and I believe that I can experience this. I do believe that there'll be feedback. I think the universe is going to bring in some things that give you the feedback. Now, here's what's key if you've been following the messages all week, is that to need feedback from the world is a recipe for frustration, for betrayal, for all kinds of suffering and discomfort. But to not need it and to know that you have the power opens you up to actually receive amazing feedback. It comes in because you don't need it. You have no resistance. And so then the universe begins to cultivate and create energy, create feedback around what you're allowing into your experience. Sunday's really about an allowing of more love. Knowing that it's up to me to receive it. It's up to me to do something with it. So if the feedback comes in, if some beautiful gift arrives, if some magical blessing comes into my experience that changes things, maybe it's an emotional energy, an emotional blessing, and something shifts your feeling state. You feel a tremendous amount of gratitude, or you, in a moment, have an experience that changes everything. That's the kind of energy today, because we have walked into the King of Hearts. We went from mind right into the leader of love, right into the king, the mastery of the heart. We've landed into the ultimate expresser of divine love. We have the wisdom of love speaking through our story now. The wisdom of love connected to the king. So the king is bringing what's for you. It's not always bringing exactly what you want, but it is bringing what is for you right now that would allow you to experience more love, to awaken more, to open your heart more, to open your mind, to open your life experiences to more. It's bringing a big shift in energy, a big change. And so whatever emotional energy is inspired, whatever emotional occurrence, maybe something, you have a conversation that opens up an emotional awareness. More likely, someone shares something with you, or you receive an experience. You come into collaboration with life where changing conditions cause your heart to burst open. And in that bursting open, it is opening your heart for good. It is asking you to go to a new level. Now, everybody has a different layer of being willing to receive that, experience that. Some resist the heart opening and do find ways of closing it or hiding behind it. But I know here in this community, you've been on this journey. This isn't new for you. And so this layer of awakening is one that transcends any of the fears that you had throughout the week. It allows you to love in spite of all of that. It allows you to love where all of that doubt was, where all of that fear was, where all the insecurities once lived. Now, the heart energy wants to pour more love into the body to fill those spaces, which again means if those spaces that once had doubt are now able to be filled with love because you allowed them to open up and to move, to shift, to change, then your life will change forever. And it will be for the better, even if in this moment you can't quite see how. Because sometimes these catalyzing events can be uncomfortable, but sometimes they are beyond extraordinary. So this feels like blessed energy for many of you. I'd say most of you are going to experience something that is fulfilling, expansive, that causes you to believe in possibility. It causes you to believe in yourself like never before. And some of you will be catalyzed by a challenge that does the same. Either way, you're getting to a new experience, and that's the point. That's the goal of this week's energy. Open your heart, open your mind, allow more in. And if you are really paying attention, being present with what I'm saying here and the layers of everything that unfolded this week, the whole point is to expand your consciousness. And what's interesting about that, expanding your consciousness is already expansive. You can tap into any consciousness you want. This is expanding the body's willingness to live with higher consciousness. The body is expanding to let higher vibrational thought in, specifically about what's possible for your life story, specifically about your dream, so that you're willing to receive more intuitive nudges, more inspiration, more guidance to fulfill your dream at a whole new level. You are catapulting yourself into a whole new year where the dream time activated something bigger than you've ever allowed yourself to think or feel or believe could unfold. So I love the energy of this week. I hope you do too. I hope that this has given you some insight and inspired setting an intention for this week. How will you leverage the shifting of mind into heart? How will you leverage the shifting from, I wish they would, I wish they could, I wish I could, I wish the government would change, the others would change, this would occur, that transition of magical thinking into possibility thinking, which brings magical results, right? Magical thinking brings betrayal, disappointment, discouragement. Possibility thinking brings magical results. So let me know how your week was, what you loved about the week, what worked in your favor, what challenged you the most. And most of all, I just want to celebrate you and your awakening right now as we all are ascending into a whole new experience on this planet. I love you all. Have a beautiful day.